Welcome back to The Count. We are counting down the major stories of the week. I'm Lydia Serrani. Now to story number 2 in our countdown. Money matters with the economy on everyone's mind. Let's bring in our economic experts to get their opinions on this crucial matter for voters. With us, the president of Strollmark LLC, business development consultants, Hilary Fordwich. Also with us, an economist for the American Institute for Economic Research, Thomas Savidge. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Hillary, you know, there's talk, President Trump, he's floating the idea of getting rid of the tax, the income tax. Is that possible? He said he'd make up for it with tariffs. Talk to me about this plan. Could it be possible? Or, you know, critics are saying Trump's just saying anything and everything to get elected.
Right. That's because they weren't in charge of the economy before and didn't do what President Trump did before. And as they say, the more you tax of anything, the less you get of it. And with regard to the tariffs, just think about this. One of the things that President Trump has always said, former President Trump said, reciprocity. That's fair. Reciprocity is fair. So I used to head global business development for KPMG worldwide. I lived in Amsterdam for 3 years. And Lydia, I challenge any American to go to Europe and try to spot an American car. You know why you can't? Because there are 10% tariffs on them over there. However, every American, when they get in their car tomorrow, look around on the roads, spot a German car, spot a European car, only 2.5%. Who made that deal? 10% for our cars, 2.5% coming in here. Do you know the EU exported last year 43.1 billion to the US, and we only exported to Europe 6.3 billion. That's not fair. That's not reciprocity. With regard to China, back in the year 2000, they entered into the World Trade, the WTO, the World Trade Organization, and they were then an undeveloped nation. And then we let them put 40% tariffs on our goods going in there. We only have 25% coming in here. So President Trump is right. Reciprocity would be right. That is how he would raise a lot in revenue. And yes, that would replace a lot in taxes. And when Americans know that they can make more money and not have to pay as much in taxes, you watch businesses expand, flourish, grow. Yes, it's an absolute recipe for growth. And it's a great stimulation for the economy.
You know, and you've got President Trump, he actually has concrete plans. See her lawn, that she lived in a middle-class family. Trump said he plans to eliminate taxes on tips, Social Security benefits. He also has a proposal to significantly reduce the corporate tax rate. Again, he's floating the idea of the income tax, the tariffs, all of that. Thomas, what do you think about his ideas and the fact that Kamala hasn't given us anything? Instead, she talks about giving money to black voters, student loan forgiveness, and doesn't talk about how to pay for all of it.
Well, I think with President Trump's plan, there's the good, the bad, and the uncertain. So the good stuff is, of course, as Hillary mentioned, you know, those tax cuts. We want to see Americans keep more of what they're earning, keep their hard-earned money, because that's the way people get back on their feet. That's the way people help push back against inflation. But ultimately, you know, with these, if you want to replace income taxes with tariffs completely, you need to make some serious spending cuts. And you know, while I don't want to doubt anybody, it is a serious challenge to cut spending in Washington. And so really what the uncertainty is how much can you cut spending? How much can you at least cut taxes or at least maintain the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which are set to expire next year? And if they do expire, it's going to cost the average American family a lot of money.
It really is. Hillary, President Trump says on day one he's going to combat inflation. How would he go about doing that?
He will combat inflation by stimulating the economy and by cutting costs. Tom was absolutely right in what he said. But when he said about the uncertainty, don't forget Elon Musk is campaigning with President Trump, and it's already been sort of declared or accepted that he would be chief of cutting all the waste. And there's so much waste, fraud, and abuse. When you cut the waste, fraud, and abuse, you will make savings there. Then we won't have as many government programs. The government programs and the printing and pumping money into the economy is what caused inflation. When you roll that back, Lydia, and then you stimulate growth at the same time. And I would point our viewers to actually Bill Ackerman's interview, where he talked about the fact that President Trump is the only candidate talking about stimulating the economy versus impeding and crushing the economy.
And also drill, baby, drill, right? I mean, we got to, the fossil, we got to open up the spigot. Hilary Fordwich, Thomas Savidge, we have to leave it right there. Thank you both so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.